So today's video, we're going to be basically talking about the GOWTHER preview, the boss battle, and just the teams that you can run on this actual event, because this is actually not too difficult, but it can be kind of annoying because if you mess up, basically GOWTHER can get his full heal back up, I think on second round. The first round, I don't think he does that. I think it's the second round that happens with that. But we'll talk about all the preview and just talk about the teams that you can actually run and what kind of teams you should expect to see on the actual review or the preview stuff, like the actual ranking system, because they have a ranking system as well. That's what they're doing based off of all the other updates that they did in JP. They're basically doing the same way with global as well. So like GOWTHER also has a ranking system, as well as King did as well. So this is how it works. You know, you can get first place, second, third, fourth, up to 10th, and then top 5 percentage and higher, you'll get all these rewards. So if you're in top 5, you'll get anything on top 5 and below. But if you're in like top 30, you'll only get top 30 and below. So that's basically how that works for that. But let's just go ahead and get into the items themselves that you can also get as well. So this is all the exchange costumes you can get. So you can get GOWTHER's full costume as well. You can get a couple chalices. Then you can also get horns, wings, stuff like that, and then as well as anvils, which is really good. Now, basically, this thing isn't too difficult. So essentially what really happens is, one, he has a strength attribute, so you have to use speed attributes. So you have to run blue units compared to he's a red unit. So one thing to note, he is immune to all debuffs, so you can't petrify him, you can't, you know, seal his attacks or anything like that, because it's not going to work like that. So anything like that will not work, so don't expect any of those cards to work essentially. But it's still fine, don't worry, you have other units that you can still use for these specific reasons. Now they do have extreme and hell on here, so recommended CC will be 150,000 for hell. So just know, a lot of people probably might not have that, but by now you probably should, because gear is the really biggest thing. Like when it comes to the GOWTHER boss battle, if you don't have a lot of good gear, then you're probably gonna struggle. But 150,000 shouldn't be too hard at this point in the game. The game's been out for almost, what, 3 months, 4 months at most? I don't know, I don't even know. Anyways, so I think it's been 4 months. But yeah, you guys need to realize that the hell part shouldn't be too hard as long as you have a good team. But the first thing to note is that he does 300% damage against HP attributes, which is green units and demons. So in my other video about GOWTHER, when I first talked about him, I did say that blue melee is really good essentially, but it's not like he's gonna be the best unit. He's not even supposed to be one of the units you're supposed to want to use. But I did check on Twitter just to confirm, like whenever I made a tweet, I did say, you know, someone refreshed my mind, because I honestly forgot that the GOWTHER boss battle blue demon melee is useless or not. Someone in my comments said GOWTHER does more damage on demon clan units, which that is true. And then Z-Hall, my boy Z-Hall, says, fun fact, I used him for hell and did fine. On extreme he got targeted but not hell. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I will be making a fun video about that and just seeing how it goes. So hopefully you guys check that out. But essentially, you can still technically use Demon Melee because he is an attack all unit as well. So that's really good. So just keep that in mind. But I can't guarantee that he will last the whole fight. So if he does, great. If he doesn't, then that's going to be an issue. But that's one thing to know. He's going to be targeted most likely on extreme, but I'm not sure on hell, because that's what Z-Hall said, but we'll see how it goes whenever we run it. But just know that, you know, blue melee might not be the best unit for that. So phase 1, the boss battle for GOWTHER. He applies attack disabled debuffs, right? And he has attack increase based on the number of fallen allies. So essentially, you do not want to get you don't want to take out his enemies or his allies. It's like these really big monster looking things. So I think they actually show it in here. Let me see, right here. So these monsters right here, like his allies next to him, if you kill them, then his attack boost will happen to GOWTHER. So you don't want to kill him on the first turns. Like, you want to focus only on GOWTHER. So essentially run units that will focus on GOWTHER only and not attacking all on the first round. You can attack all and do some damage with a certain unit that might do a lot of damage with attack all, but just be careful that if you take out his allies, which are those big armor people, then that's going to be an issue when it comes to giving GOWTHER that buff. So that's going to be annoying. So just keep that in mind. It shouldn't be too hard for the first round though. You can keep that in mind, that any unit that's like really strong in the blue types, you can run that. So the second phase is where final boss GOWTHER will fully heal all of his allies, including himself, if a single one of them does not receive damage. So this is where AoE matters the most. So you can't just focus on GOWTHER himself. You can, like, the thing is, you can focus on GOWTHER with single hit attacks, but you also need to use at least one AoE attack card, and if you don't have that, he's gonna literally get all of his health back, and that sucks. So just keep that in mind. Do not miss a chance to use an AoE. So if you have like 3 AoE cards, don't merge them all together at one point. Just try to use it like one at a time and see how that goes for you, because that's going to matter the most. So there's a tip that they recommend: using speed attributes with an AoE attack, able to hit all enemies at once, and a hero with the ability to remove debuffs and heal. So this is where we're going to talk about that. Final boss GOWTHER also has a protectors that can taunt. So that means that his allies right here can taunt you, right? So if you're using a unit that can only attack once, that's going to be an issue. That's why AoE cards matter. So make sure you save AoE cards for the second phase because of that specific reason. So we also recommend a hero with the ability to cancel stances. Now, basically what that means is we're going to talk about one specific unit that is amazing for this raid, and then the second unit that is probably the best unit to have for this raid. So the first unit we're going to talk about, Melee. We already talked about him. Okay, whatever. We'll close him out because I don't want to go too crazy with him, but he's still a possibility to use. So first unit is Hawk and Elizabeth. This unit, the reason why she's actually really good is mainly because of her second skill. But her first skill can do some pretty decent damage, but her second skill is the thing that you're going to need the most on the second phase of the match. So what this does is that she is the one that can actually remove buffs and stuff like that. So what Solidify does, applies one Solidify on one ally. If there are debuffs, they are removed, which, if you know that GOWTHER will debuff you many times, and then one additional Solidify effect is applied. So Solidify is the plus 30% resistance for 3 turns. So the more you use this card, the more Solidifies you get, and the more debuffs are removed. So if you do rank 2, that's going to do Solidify on all allies, and then they're removed, debuffs are removed. So just know that it's really, really good to use this card because of removing debuffs, because GOWTHER does that a lot. Her first skill attack will do some decent damage, but don't expect something crazy. But her Amplify does help because she does damage dealt plus 30% per active buff on self. But I don't think there's a real way to actually buff yourself, because you're basically going to get debuffed many times. So this card might not really help you the most, but at least it'll do some pretty decent damage. It's mainly her second skill that's going to do the most. Now, essentially what you want to go for is try getting your ults, right? You want to rush your ults as fast as possible. Just do what you can with that, and just push to do a lot of damage with her ult. So her ult is a charge which ignores defense, which is really good. And she does 700% of attack on one enemy. Her second card, I think that's with Meliodas. I believe that should be, yeah, Meliodas. Does 800% damage. So she's good for that. Her passive increases all allies HP by 12% per debuff on the hero. So as you know, you're going to get debuffed a lot. So just know that. So that's going to be very, very good. That's why she's one of the most fantastic units to have for this raid. So whenever that comes out, we'll definitely be doing that for a video. So the second unit, I'd say, now hopefully this is actually coming out Tuesday. I think that's when the updates come out. Blue Lilia, if she should most likely come out once GOWTHER is out, because one thing is, Blue Lilia is probably the best unit to have for the actual raid itself. Now, the reason why I say that is because, one, her first skill attack is an AoE, so she can attack all on GOWTHER. But the cool thing is, on her second skill or third skill, she depletes ultimate gauge orbs, which is good because you don't want GOWTHER ulting you, right? That's going to be actually annoying. But just know, GOWTHER can take out your actual skill rank, so he can D-rank your cards, so that's going to be annoying. So just keep that in mind whenever you're putting cards together. Now, her cool thing is, with the second skill, this is where she's very helpful with healing. She does I don't remember which, I think it's Elizabeth, the green Elizabeth. She does the same healing here, where she heals all allies. But the cool thing is, on her rank 2 and 3, she removes debuffs. So you have 2 units there that can already remove debuffs, which is crazy. And then her first skill obviously is an attack all. Now keep in mind, I recommend trying to run 2 AoE units if you need to, because you just in case if you don't get any AoE cards from Lilia, then you can have another unit that can do damage with that. So keep that in mind. Now her ultimate is really nice because she does attack all on enemies, so try to use this ultimate on the second phase of GOWTHER, just because you don't want him healing all the way back up if he doesn't take an AoE attack. But the cool thing is she also decreases the skill ranks and then takes away ultimate move gauge orbs from that decreased skill ranks, which is very, very viable for GOWTHER's boss raid or boss battle, whatever you want to call it. So just keep that in mind when you're using her ults. Try to use it in the second phase. Her cool thing is her passive, obviously, is that her passive does 50% rates or allies pierce rate by 50%, which is good just in case if any of your units have a lot of pierce rating. Then you can try using that. So Lilia, perfect, fantastic unit to have. If she is coming out once GOWTHER is out, probably by Tuesday when the update happens normally, then I recommend you guys to use 242 gems on her step up banner, because she is guaranteed, and get her because she is going to be amazing in the game in general. Just know that. Okay, so the next unit I'm going to say, now this unit can be good and bad at the same time, just because he doesn't really have an AoE other than his ult. But basically you can still run King. You might do some decent damage from his petrifies, but obviously you can't petrify GOWTHER, but you can still do some decent damage with his cards because he's a blue type unit, which he has an advantage. Now the only reason why I would recommend you using this unit is because it's specifically for his second skill. The reason why is because he can actually remove the debuffs. Now that's only from the first skill. If you use it for second and third, you will have to be able to heal that, but honestly Lilia is a much better healer for this specific reason. So if you don't have some certain units, you can run like King, for example, and try it that way and see how it goes for you. But King is just another unit that you can try using just in case, because you want to remove those debuffs from your whole team, because that's what GOWTHER does. He debuffs you, so just know that. His ultimate obviously is an attack all, so that's where it's be mattering on the second phase, so just keep that in mind. Focus with that. Now when we talk about his passive, it's just not really going to matter there, so it's whatever. So the next unit I'm going to talk about, this is basically units that will be in the 4th slot. Let me talk about one more unit beforehand, because I want to actually talk about him because he's actually really good for this too. Weinhardt, or Weinheit, however you want to say his name. He's actually fantastic. I would recommend running him as well because he does have 2 attack all cards. But just know when you put these cards together, this is where his debuff will be lost, because in the second phase, these debuff cards are basically taken away, because that's how GOWTHER's thing works. So you're not going to be able to use these cards. So just keep that in mind. You want to keep it for 1-star cards just because he does attack all. So the second phase is fantastic with this unit. So just keep that in mind. Run him whenever you need him in the 3rd slot, if anything. And then you can use, Elizabeth to do some damage, or Lilia to do some damage from there as well. So he would probably be your second best card to have as the AoE unit because of how his card itself works. And then he increases all allies pierce rate by 8% at the end of every turn, so actually you can stack that up, so that's actually really good as well. And then obviously the higher the pierce rate, the more the damage you should be able to do. So he only is basically attack all, that's it. You can't really do anything with his second skill attacks or his 2-star, 3-star, because it's not going to really do anything for you there, but he's good. At least you can do that there. His ultimate is inflicts pierce damage equal to 5 or 6% of an attack of one enemy, which is a 3 times pierce rate increase. This is going to be good if you want to just attack GOWTHER only, but just know when you attack GOWTHER on the second phase, just use Weinhardt's or Weinheit's as 1 skill attack, or the second 1 skill attack, and just do it that way, because you need to make sure he doesn't heal all the way back up. So he's very good for that. Now the units I would say to keep in the 4th slot, if you want to use this, you technically can. The reason why I would bring Marmus is because 1, he increases speed attribute allies HP by 30%, so you want to last longer in the match. So Marmus would help you with that for that specific reason. Now the reason why I say to use him is because he does have a attack all card right here. So his first skill attack is an attack all card. So if you wanted to use that just in case, you can. Now the second rank and 3rd rank you can't really use. So this is where you might have to have some RNG luck and hope to get this specific card. And don't merge them, because you don't want to do that. You'll lose these debuff cards that you can't use. So just keep that in mind. Then you have his debuff card. This is useless. You can't do anything here, so don't worry about that. His ultimate is useless as well. You can't really do anything because you can't debuff any units like that, because it's going to be taken off right off. So just keep that in mind. It's mainly just having the RNG base, having it for his attack all if you really needed it. But he's mainly there for his passive, which is really, really good. So keep that in mind. He's nothing good. He's just there for the passive. Just keep that in mind there. Now the other fourth slot unit I'd say is Jericho. The reason why is because you're using these units for the fourth slot, nothing more, nothing less. Because her attack, she's not gonna do anything for her attack. She's not gonna be that great. She can heal, that's great, but you already have 2 other healers that you can run already, so it's no point for that. Her ultimate might do some good damage, but I don't expect you to do some crazy damage with her anyway, so that's why she's there for the passive. So her passive increases speed attribute allies attack related stats by 10%. So she's going to give you more attack related stats for your whole team, which could help if you're going to be running a unit that can do some good damage. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, that's the other unit. Now the other unit I'd say if you really needed to run would be this blue Arthur. The reason why is because his second skill attack is an attack all as well, so you can use him and hope to do some pretty good damage with his first skill attack, because his detonate can actually help because it's a 20% additional damage per orb in the target's ultimate move gauge orb. So essentially, if GOWTHER has almost his full ult, then this card will do some really good damage, so expect him to do that as well if you wanted to do that. His passive increases HP related stats by 6% at the start of the next turn if the hero takes damage, which you're going to take damage every single time, honestly. There's no way you're not gonna, so keep that in mind. Now, one thing to note is that GOWTHER can seal your attack, so be careful. This is why you have to have a unit that can remove debuffs. So either Hawk and Elizabeth, or you can run King. It's up to you, whichever one you want to do. But I recommend Hawk on your team, Hawk and Elizabeth on your team, and then if Lilia does come out, which she should, get her as well, because she's gonna be very fantastic. So just keep that in mind. So this is basically the units that you can run in the team. I would recommend running blue Elizabeth and Hawk. Run blue, I say blue Lilia, and then I would try to say either this Arthur or try to run Weinhardt, because that's actually very fantastic for that kind of team setup. So keep that in mind. I'd say that those are the best units in the game to run. You can try other units, but realistically, you have to have a unit that can do AoE. But I think those are the only main units that can do AoE for speed types, other than Demon Melee, but can't really say too much on that. But yeah, hopefully you guys do understand that. If you guys do, let me know in the comments below. If you guys need any kind of help, go ahead and join my Discord, so you guys can show your teams, and I can try to help you out, or you have other people in the Discord that can also help you out if I'm not free to help you out as well. But we're gonna be doing a lot of videos throughout the week, so if you guys definitely want to check that out, make sure to go and subscribe to the channel. Drop a like on this video if you guys want to see more Grand Cross content. I definitely will be continuing that, and hopefully you guys do enjoy these kinds of videos, because I love making Grand Cross content, which is crazy. So yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy that. I'll see you guys in the next video.